Okay. I guess the first thing I want to say is I'm proud of the Beavers. They played their tails off. A lot of things came their way that didn't go their way, and some self-inflicted. We have a lot to improve on, but they stood toe-to-toe with a very physical team, especially in the second half, and that was a good thing to see. On the flip side of that, you can't it's a game that's there for the taking. We made some plays here and plays there to get us right back in it. And when you get into a point to where you can play people close and they're really good teams, you have to execute the little things. And we didn't. Said at the beginning to the team all week, we'll have to play very good in all three areas at times. And played really good on defense the whole football game, obviously. Very good on defense. A lot of rushing yards in the first half, but they brought up when they had to keep the score down, and one of the scores was on a turnover. So very, very good defense. Offense was not good, and special teams was a debacle. So you lose 2 of the 3 against a good team, you'll lose every week, and that's what happened.
Gary, you mentioned the offense wasn't good enough today, and now it seems like there's even more uncertainty with health stuff, and just how do you feel about the unit now moving forward?
First of all, I want to mention the offensive line when we're talking about the offense. Their ability to continue to work to run the ball and be able to get it done in the second half the way they were able to do it. They matched, again, toughness for toughness, and I can't express how important that is for where we are right now. So, we knew that there was going to be tough sledding in situations, and wanted to be a little different in the first half, but it wasn't, but we fixed it. Coaches did a good job of making some adjustments in the run game. We got some nice runs, and so the offense was functional there, but the offensive line, to me, did a lot of good things. I forgot your question.
Just, now you've lost 2 quarterbacks go out in that game. Not only gets 1 carry, just it seems like the offense now has kind of been in a little bit of an uncertain state.
But we have a lot of, obviously if a kid doesn't play, he was hurt. So I'm not going to talk about injuries. We don't do that. We'll talk about them on Wednesday when they come out in the release like they always do. But we're down some guys. And it's the same thing on defense. I mean, throw off another red shirt and throw him in there at outside linebacker again, and because the other guy got injured again, so a little bit. So, yeah, we're down guys, but that's another reason why I'm proud of this crew, is because of that. There could have been so many ways that they could have just, woe is me, many times in those situations, and they didn't. They kept on fighting. That's why I'm damn proud to be their coach.
Coach, I know you don't talk about injuries, but as a head coach, how difficult is it to end the game and see your your number 1, number 2 quarterbacks on crutches?
It's very difficult, obviously, at any position to see any kid in that spot to get hurt. It's tough. I want every kid to be healthy his whole career and play as many games and snaps as he can as a game that he loves. But, it gets taken away from you sometimes. So our worries right now is not really about the team in that setting. Our worries is about the kids as individuals to make sure that we get them the care they need, the help they need as we go through time. And then we'll reevaluate. We'll get ourselves back out there. Next man up at the quarterback spot. Marcus is up, and away he goes. We'll see what the other 2 guys' health is as we move forward. But today, Marcus was out there. He came in, did a nice job, gave us a chance to be able to win the game.
It seemed like if you could have any semblance of a passing game, you'd get back in it and never seemed to happen.
Yeah, except for the last drive there a little bit. It was from my vantage point on the sidelines, and I can't see everything until I see the film, but I thought the pick was tipped. I don't know if it was or not. It looked like it was to me on the field. We had drops. We had throws that we'd like to have back. And, they did too, though. That wasn't perfect in their throw game as far as where it was going, but they made some plays down the field, especially early when they needed it. The wind was a gigantic factor for both sides of the ball, throwing the ball. It was a stiff wind, and it was very difficult either into it or going with it. But our passing game as a whole is a real struggle right now, and there's no other way. We can't sugarcoat it, fake it, hide it, pretend it's not there. It's not good, and it needs to get better, as those offensive linemen are giving us a chance to run the football.
Gary, you won the toss and elected to receive, I think ended up going into the wind. Just what went into that decision, and how challenging did it appear to be to go into the elements like that, on the first quarter?
Well, it's going to be the first quarter, or the third quarter, or whatever it's going to be. So to me, I want them to feel like we're each and every week making the decision, an educated decision. The weather report was going to do nothing but get worse, or at least be the same. And I felt like giving our kids a chance to go out there and do what we did was the way to go about it. So, I mean, people talk about that stuff all the time, and that is, to me, is bizarro land. It doesn't matter. Take the ball, don't have the ball. You get it in the second half. The weather was a little better here, worse there. We got a 3 and out. We're good.
Gary, you talked a little bit about your defense. Your guys got handed several short fields. Can you just expand on the defensive effort today?
Yeah. Well, I thought they got punched in the mouth early in the run game, and Utah had a whole bunch of yards basically rushing at halftime, and completed a couple passes, but we held them to 12 points. And when we got into the red zone, we had red zone stops, so I thought were fantastic. Time and time again, they were able to battle. They didn't flinch. They just kept on fighting and competing when they got in those spots, and that's what they need to do when they get down there. So it was good to see. Their eyes were good. Their mindset was good. I think the calls got into them clean. They played with confidence in that setting, in that situation. And, at the end of the day, when you're successful there, we try to tell them all the time that good plays down there don't mean anything. Good plays lead to touchdowns in the red zone. Somebody has to make a great play, and obviously there were some great plays made by our kids today.
Coach, in the first half, the rhythm wasn't really all that consistent. In the second half, things changed. What was said, or just what changed to establish a rhythm in that second half to keep you guys in the ballgame?
Well, I think we just had success on offense. That's about it. We were able to break out a few runs, and we started. I mean, Ryan broke out the first run, and then he was done for the day. So we had some opportunities in the first half, but we didn't get anything really sustained. I think we broke more runs, because if we were going to have success today, obviously it wasn't because we had some nice throws down the field, except for the very, very end there with Marcus. So. Consistently running the football gave us an opportunity to, try to get back into the game. And, you get down there, and nice to get a touchdown, but you got a chip shot field goal, and, everybody wants to look at the kicker. You need to look at the snapper, because that wasn't a good snap.
Anything else for Coach? I'll bring some players in. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Questions for Victor Davis?
Vic, just in the second half, what changed offensively to kind of get the running game going? It seemed like, after a tough first half, you guys got a little bit of a rhythm going.
There were some holes that we were trying to get to in the first half, and we just stayed poised and stayed focused, and made sure we got back to those plays that were working in the second half, and we got the ball rolling.
For both of you, can you just describe the playing in the elements, particularly in that first quarter when you guys were going into the wind and the rain?
It's still football. We were aware it was going to be some tough weather conditions. We were prepared for it, and we knew what we had to do. So it wasn't too much of a factor.
For both of you, Victor, start with you. What's it like when so many injuries? I mean, Ryan injured, your 2 quarterbacks end up on crutches. How do you guys stay, concentrated on the game, and how difficult is it to see all these guys, part of your offense, right now unable to play?
Yeah, it hurts to see one of your brothers go down, but, as we're a family, and, next guy has your back, he's going to step up and get the job done. So, we're a team, we're tight-knit, and make sure that the guys are getting mental reps in practice, so stuff like that, when that happens, the next guy's prepared and ready to go.
Victor, the passing game just really didn't get going until maybe about midway through the fourth quarter. Just when that's happening and it's just not getting going, how frustrating is that?
As a receiver, sometimes you can't control what's going on in the game, but, you have to make sure that you're still in it and be prepared, and when your number is called, you just got to make the play. So, it's just part of the game.
All right, Tavis, what's your injury and how are you?
I had a stinger, so it should go away, so I should be back next week.
Okay.
I'm just going to rehab just to get it better, get it stronger, so I can be ready for next game.
You guys have played against some good defenses. How does Utah stack up with the teams you've seen this year?
Yeah, they were a good team. I felt like there was a lot of little details that we should have we shouldn't it shouldn't have happened on our side of the ball. But you know, they were a good team, and hats off to them for playing the game and getting the win. And you know, we got to go back to the drawing board and make sure that we're ready to go for next week.
Victor, you're coming off a win, and I know there's no moral victories, but you did have the ball with the last chance. You were close in this game. Do you build off this? Does this still help the Beavers' confidence?
You know, our confidence wasn't, you know, low at the beginning of the game, and at the end of the game, you know, we're still the same team. We still have confidence in ourselves, and we know that, you know, we can compete with any team in the country. And you know, we're gonna make sure that we're ready to go for next week and have another opportunity to win that game.
Thanks, guys. Couple defensive guys coming in. Okay, questions for Bright and Manasseh? Anybody?
When you guys game plan for Utah's defense or offense, what in particular were you trying to take away first? What's the key to stopping Utah?
The run game. You know, we knew it was going to come out and be a bad weather, so we knew there was going to be more run plays, and you know, we just try to practice the best we could to stop that.
For both of you, you had a number of true freshmen out there. What did you make of the way they responded to being out there?
I think a lot of them held their own. You know, a lot of them stepped up, and it shows from the preparation they had all week. You know, I saw a lot of those guys getting some extra work in, whether it be plays or film. You know, they came in and they were able to handle their own, so hats off to them.
Just with the conditions in Bright, you went down for a little bit too. What was your injury during your part of the game? Obviously came back in, but
I just got banged up in the knee. I'm fine now.
So you guys seemed to gather momentum, especially in the second half. I mean, did you feel you were at the point where, hey, we're going to win this game?
Yeah, definitely. You know, defense came out. We came out and did our part. Stopped them to a minimum. You know, but obviously 19 points is just too much. You know, I think that it got to be every play. We can't take a play off and have them, you know, get a tackle at like 9 yards and have them gain to go 4 yards. You know, so I think we need to fix that.
Yeah, I mean, in the second half, you guys basically shut them out there until the very end. Just what adjustments were made? I mean, what did you guys change up out there to you know, really slow them down even more?
I don't think we didn't really change anything up. There weren't any really big major changes. You know, we just went in at half and came out and told each other we're going to play our type of football. You know, forget what's on the scoreboard. We're going to go out there and play defense and just fly to the ball. You know, wrap up, tackle, and secure, and play good technique, sound football, and that's what we do.
Well, you guys have played at home here the last 2 weeks. What do you think other Pac-12 teams can take away from that in terms of what to expect when they play you guys?
This is a different Oregon State Beaver football team. You know, home or away. I think that we're just getting better on every game, and we continue to improve. And I think that they should never underestimate the Beavers.
Anything else, guys? Thank you.